I'm Tato Cat and welcome to my channel. Today we are playing The Letter. Previously, Luke was talking to a very pretty maid in the garden, only for her to kind of freak out on him, and then he runs away, of course, and runs into Hansi, and he tells Hansi everything, and Hansi's like, that doesn't sound like anybody we know on our staff. And he's like, okay. And then Hansi starts grabbing at Luke's collar, and Luke's like, what are you doing, you peasant fool? And Hansi's like, well, I'm looking for needle marks, so you could have been kidnapped. And then Luke's all shocked, gasp, I am human? And Hana comes in before he can talk about anything else, and we give her the daffodils, and that results in basically being concerned about Luke's health because he did something nice. And we woke up and it's raining, and that's pretty much where we left off. Alright, let's continue. Even when Hana rises from bed in spite of a mild fever and invites me down to breakfast, I can't be bothered to drag myself out from the comfort of the sheets. It's not like I need to do something particularly important today. The rain that has started sometime during the night doesn't help the mood. Okay, maybe it helps just a little. The strange sunny weather has been nice and all, but for it to return as it should be feels like a good sign of things to come. Perhaps things will get back to normal and the crazy drama that has gone on lately will die down. The rhythmic pitter-patter of the rain fills the early morning silence with a steady beat. Thank goodness I don't have to be anywhere in a hurry today. I would hate to be caught unawares in this rain. With how it looks outside, it seems that the weather is making up for all the sunny days it has given us with a good old-fashioned downpour. It does let up within the quarter of an hour, however. A day beginning with a cloudburst like this, locals usually take it as an immediate sign. Luxbourne's abysmal weather is back, likely for good. ... I hope they did a damn good job fixing this place, because I'd rather not have to deal with leaky roofs. Though Hana might find humor in it, perhaps ask me to sing in the rain to wear out my anger. I don't like the idea that the realty did a horrid patch-up job with the place. Hana technically paid millions for this place. It better live up to the price the realty company sold it for. Not that it's something she should be fretting about at the moment, when her health's not at its best. Hana is going to be brought to the hospital for a checkup today, and if anything, I prefer that she focus on getting better. That fever, no matter how slight it is, can't be good for the unborn children, after all. Perhaps a proper rest is all she needs, but I'd rather not assume things. I'm a businessman, not a doctor. Wonder of wonders why I even bothered bother agreeing to babysitting duty after that. But here I am, scheduled as today's babysitter for Suarez's brat once her father drops her off on the the mansion steps. But that is a worry for much, much later. If I wish to, I can ask that nobody bother me while I doze off in a cocoon of comforters even. But as always, somebody has to be a buzzkill.
Are you really going to stay in bed all day?
Yes. Why not? And not all day, just until, Kylie comes.
What do you want? It's far too early to deal with your nosiness.
You must have been really rattled by what happened yesterday. If you need to talk about it, I am quite qualified in that regard.
Oh, he cares.
And you aren't even the slightest bit bothered. Truly, not even the slightest bit worried?
I was worried. But I realized that it's not my life in danger, is it? My worrying will not help matters. Neither will yours.
Loath as I am to admit it, he is right. The whole thing might have rattled me, but there is little point in jumping at every shadow I see from the corner of my eye. I shouldn't lose my head for a threat that might not even come. I should know better by now. But I've never been this worried about a possible threat on my life before. I'll be honest here. If anyone is in danger, it's Hannah. I can take care of myself just fine. With security tightened, I'll have at least one guard, if not 5, making sure nobody gets within 10 feet from me without my say-so. Hannah, on the other hand, is pregnant and will be away from most of the day. It is a small relief that Johannes will be with her.
Are there any updates about the woman?
Being in the dark has me on edge. Information, any at all, may very well help me in calming down.
I've already briefed security about her, and more from the agency will be arriving tonight, but they haven't seen anyone fitting the description.
So you have nothing then? Fat lot of use you guys are. What do I even pay you for?
To make sure our dirty work gets done, and also we don't get murdered for it.
Do me a favor. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on your way out.
Well, there is something. It's about McCulloch.
Oh. Yeah, she is in our basement, after all. Can anyone blame me if I show the tiniest bit of interest? She's still not done with the house, and she's a nice enough woman. Plans to go back to sleep are gone.
I called her secretary about taking the day off. He hasn't heard from her over the weekend.
She's probably passed out after enjoying a pint or 2 or 10 in a bar somewhere. She's an adult. It was the weekend. She's allowed to disappear and not think about work. Fuck. I wish I was passed out after a night of drinking. He does know that mobiles are a thing.
That's all well and good, but she's not answering her mobile either.
Dun dun dun. Okay, we know what's going on. She's stuck in a dungeon.
Mr. Parker will be filling a missing persons case with the police if she doesn't turn up today.
Well, that can't be good for Luke. Certainly, someone must know where she is. Tabs are kept without fail on people who come to work with me. Background checks and constant surveillance until they've finished their contracts with the rights. Some would say that it's all a bit over the top, but I can't be too safe. Too many want me dead.
What about one of ours? Has anyone seen her? She's pretty hard to miss with how tall the woman is.
You know, less people would want you dead if you stopped doing things that make people want you dead. Just saying.
The last anyone has seen of her was here, the morning of the party. Your housewarming party.
That isn't good news.
It wouldn't do for the police to hear of this and to suspect.
It is a little important that I can't easily prove my innocence. It is all a matter of principle. Because even the accusation of misdemeanor should not stain my reputation. Although maybe it's a bit too late to hope for a squeaky clean one. Besides, it'll be such a hassle to have police poking about the house looking for a body that doesn't exist.
Now, if we're done here, I'd like to go back to sleep and...
Where are you? Haha, no sleep for you. Well, there goes any plans of grabbing some shut-eye. Rolling over on my stomach, I can only scream into my pillow.
Of course, of course. Ah.
The amount of times I can imagine him going, ah, and she goes, Tio, Luke, what's wrong? I just stubbed my toe. Well, shouldn't you stop yelling then? That doesn't seem like an indoor voice. I can hear you in the bedroom, kid.
Johans, distract her.
Oh, look, it's time for me to go. Have fun with your little play date. So long, farewell, and auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
Oh, Johans.
No, Johans, don't you turn away from me. Keep her busy for an hour. Come on.
He doesn't have to. I have to press my face against the pillow once more to suppress a groan. You just can't get loyal help anymore.
Hello there, little Fraulein. Your uncle is just upstairs and will be down in a moment. He is super excited to have you today. I hope you're well rested and ready to play a lot.
Now he's just taking that knife and twisting it, isn't he?
Bastard. I'll be down in a sec, Munchkin. Let me just...
Change into fresh shirt, brush my teeth, fix my hair, bemoan my very existence. Wish I was anywhere else in the world right now. Don't get me wrong, Kylie is a great kid. Wonderful. Better than most brats her age. But handling a tyke is the last thing I want on my agenda right now with this whole Hana business. Fortunately, I am well versed in how the world works. I have long learned that show must go on no matter what hurdles come my way. So I set to prepare for the day. Running a comb through my hair is just divine and simply makes me feel more human. Bad hair is disgusting. No, it isn't as bad as it was when I was a child. and how expensive a trip to the barber's was, I often had to go out until Mother had the time to cut it for me. The curls and tanglers were simply horrid. Why I was even mistaken as a little girl because of that. Certainly doesn't help that I was named Lucille. A freshly pressed shirt is enough to chase away the last signs of sleepiness. The feel of crisp and clean cloth in my hands is a clear marker to the start of the day. But something catches my eye. My clothes and personal effects are already set out on the dresser for the day. Boxers, trousers, belts, socks on one side with my shirts, jacket and tie on the other. It's always the same things, always. Cufflinks, colognes and anything else I'd like to add stays in the dresser for me to choose from. It's all routine. However, among the silvers, the greys and the reds is a tiny blue box.
Now, what is this?
A tiny blue box. You just said so. The thing is small and light, fitting in the palm of my hand, too big to be a ring box, but too large to be a watch box. That sentence doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't it be too big to be a ring box, but too small to be a watch box? 'Cause, that seems quite large if it's bigger than a watch box. Looking at it closer, I see that it is one of my handkerchiefs used for the wrapping. It's easy enough to untie the knot to reveal a plain box inside. An odd and quaint way to wrap up a gift, I suppose. Though presentation should be the last thing I need to be worried about. Mail packages, gifts, and the likes are supposed to be vetted before they get to me. Yeah, so a mysterious thing shows up and we just touch it. It doesn't seem like to be the best of ideas. And I don't think Hana would have left something like that. She probably would have had it extravagantly wrapped or something. In the morning, Johans would hand me a list of things that I need to look over and go through. Yet, there is no forwarding of this. Immediately I dropped the thing as if it's burned me.
I shouldn't have touched that. I shouldn't have touched that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. It very well might have without security going over it. It could be a nasty gift for me. I can still remember when a security guard died to contact poison that covered an innocent enough birthday card, for fuck's sake. But as the box hits the ground, it spills its contents. What's inside? What I see makes my stomach turn. Can't be good then. Fingers? Eyeballs! Are they Zach's eyeballs? His eyes were gouged. That was his eye color, right? Oh. An eyeball still with its nerves, endings, mucus, and all plops to the ground. I have to fight the urge to gag as it rolls and stares up at me. Oh.
Oh God, that's sick. That is sick. It's still wet. My bloody fucking. That is disgusting.
I'm not a stranger to being sent threats, but this has to be the first time I've been sent a body part. Even I don't do that. Yet, there is no note or sign as to who may have sent it or how it got here. If this is a threat, it's a piss poor way of doing it, considering it lacks proper planning outside the shock factor that sending a body part towards them. I like how he's just like judging this threat to his life. I'm like, I mean, it's gross, but come on, it's not very threatening. You could do better. Do I even know anyone whose eyes are the same shade? Not Hannah's? No, definitely not. They aren't as pretty and aren't the right color. Johan's? Mr. or Mrs. Lee? Swears. Color? No, the color isn't familiar at all. No, honestly, it's not like I take the time to memorize each and every person's eye. This could be anyone's, from guard or maid or one of the other hundreds of people I deal with. Kylie can't see this. This kid is tough, but this'll traumatize her. Grabbing the handkerchief that was used for wrapping, I tried to pick up the eyeball to dispose of it. Emphasis on try. Oh, this can't go well. Why would you try? Like, why wouldn't you get something to, like scoop it? Why would you do that? But do they still have a picture of the eyeballs? So, let me not see the picture of the eyeballs. Contact even with the fabric has me gagging. The thoughts of squishing it and covering my fingers with the slick and slime have made me recoil. But the slightest of touch is enough to make the eyeball roll towards the bed. And in my mad scramble to make a grab for it, it rolls away even further under the bed until it's the smack zap in the middle. Is she going to like grab us from underneath the bed as we try to grab the eyeball? Nah, it just taunts me from where it sits, out of my reach. Green iris fixed on me again. Perhaps judging my poor attempts to get it.
What the hell with it? I don't have time for this.
Journal updated. And it's so weird. Is he just gonna leave an eyeball under the bed then? Oh, is Kylie gonna find it later? Oh no. That's not good. Oh, I didn't have to travel too far. Luke Wright received a surprise early Sunday morning in the form of an oddly wrapped gift. Upon opening the box, however, ... Eyeballs. He's eye rolling to a whole new level. Why I didn't mean to click on that. I did not mean to go to backlog. I washed my hands of this, quite literally, at that. though I wish it isn't easier said than done. The nagging in the back of my head, the voice that tells me I need to be more cautious about this, refuses to push the matter aside. Well, it is true that it is cause for concern without demands or anything of the like. Worrying will do very little to help. Looking around the room, I try to see if any other presents have been left behind. To my relief, aside from the blue box, nothing else is out of place. The most I can do right now is alert the present security staff about this breach. Watch out for any other threats. You mean, and watch out for any other threats? If they have a message for me, they most likely will send it with their next gift. Whoever has sent this, I would assume that it is more to shake me up more than anything else at the moment. It would be best to act as if this didn't happen. No need to make a child worry about it either. She doesn't need to know. Smoothing down my suit and my hair with a sigh, I steel myself for the horrors. The horrors that come with taking care of a child. While I try to forget the horrors that come in a box. And try taking care of 16.
Good morning to you, Luke.
Good morning, Kylie. Why are you upstairs? Didn't you know we were chasing eyeballs just a second ago? This is no place for a child. Speak of the devil and she shall appear. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Kylie grins up at me as soon as I open the bedroom door. She swings the backpack she's clutching, hitting my leg in a show of impatience, and looking entirely unapologetic for it.
Did you just wake up? Don't tell me you forgot. It's our playdate today.
I doubt I'd forget. Kylie's visits are frequent enough to think that they've found a way into my schedule. They're supposed to be visits to her godmother, but we can't pick who a child gets along with. So long as I'm not busy, her father can drop her off for the day, which is all well and good for me, if it makes Suarez focus on work I've given him. Besides, she's a bright child. Tolerable, even. Kid's got a good head on his shoulders, and can get pretty mature for her age. Of course, they have to thank me for that. Of course they do. Her parents can take partial credit, but Hannah and I have been there for this kid since she was just a small babe. Why, I can still remember the first time I saw her. It was during her baptism. The only reason I was there was to accompany Hannah, who was to be named godmother. She was such a tiny thing, not even a year old, and swaddled in her mother's arms, in white cloth. It was the first time I really saw an infant up close enough to hold one at least. It had been terrifying to be given a little child to carry after the whole water ceremony. I've never done so before, to hold a tiny life in my arms. I could have just dropped her on her head and this little tyke before me would have stopped existing then and there. smiled at me, babbling nonsensical words as children do, and clinging to me even as I tried to hand her off to Hannah. She had thought it hilarious and adorable. My suit had been a mess and was nearly an anxious wreck by the time I handed her back to her mother. Yet, it was pleasant too. Alright, we shall stop here and see how the playdate goes in the next episode. I'm Taylor Cat. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. A wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.